When my mom said the vacation was without me, she didn't shout it. She didn't sound angry either. She said it casually, like she was talking about the weather. "I booked everything already," she said, scrolling on her phone. "It's better if you stay home." I stood in the kitchen, holding a chipped mug of cold tea, trying to understand what she meant. I was 16, old enough to notice when something hurt, young enough to pretend it didn't. "Why?" I asked. She sighed, like I had asked something unreasonable. "You're too sensitive. And honestly, I just need a break. A break from me." The vacation had been planned for months. Beach photos saved on her phone. New dresses hanging in her closet. She used to talk about it at dinner, describing sunsets and ocean air. I always assumed I was part of the picture. I wasn't. She left 3 days later. No goodbye hug. No list of instructions. Just a sticky note on the fridge: "Food is in the freezer. Don't stay up late." That was it. The house felt different the moment the door closed behind her. Too quiet, too big. I slept on the couch the first night, because my room felt unfamiliar, like I didn't quite belong there anymore. The second night, the power went out during a storm. I sat in the dark, listening to the rain slam against the windows, my phone flashlight trembling in my hand. I texted her. "The electricity is gone. I'm scared." Hours passed. No reply. I learned quickly how to survive alone. I cooked burnt pasta. I washed my own clothes. I figured out how to reset the breaker when the power flickered again. I stopped texting her because silence hurts more when you expect an answer. On day 6, I got sick. Fever, chills, the kind of headache that makes light unbearable. I lay in bed sweating, wondering if this was what being invisible felt like. I didn't call her. I already knew she wouldn't come back. She returned 2 weeks later with sun-kissed skin and a suitcase full of souvenirs. She looked happy. That hurt more than anything. "You survived," she said lightly, setting her bags down. "See? I told you you'd be fine." I nodded, because arguing felt pointless. Life went on like nothing had happened. She posted vacation photos online, smiling selfies, ocean views, cocktails by the pool. People commented how lucky she was. No one asked where I was. Years passed. I grew up fast. Faster than I should have. I got a job. Then too, I paid for my own school supplies, my own clothes. When I moved out at 18, she hugged me like a proud parent. "You're so independent," she said. I almost laughed. Independence isn't always a gift. Sometimes it's what grows when no one shows up for you. We talked less over the years. Holidays became short visits. Conversations stayed shallow. She never mentioned the vacation again. I thought maybe she had forgotten. She hadn't. One afternoon, when I was 26, she called me crying. "I need you," she said. "I messed up. I trusted the wrong people. I don't have anyone else." I listened quietly as she explained. Money problems? Friends who disappeared. A loneliness she couldn't escape. "I was a good mother, right?" she asked suddenly. I did my best. I closed my eyes. Memories came rushing back. The dark house. The storm. The fever. The unanswered messages. "I did my best too," I said. She was silent. "I can help you," I continued calmly. "But things will be different." "What do you mean?" "I won't disappear on you," I said. "But I won't erase what happened either." She started to apologize then. Not loudly, not dramatically, just softly. "Broken. I didn't know," she whispered. "I thought you were strong." I was, but strength shouldn't be forced on a child. I helped her, slowly, carefully, boundaries in place. I didn't become her caretaker. I didn't give more than I could afford to lose. Love doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing wisely. Sometimes she still brings up that vacation, laughing nervously, calling it a misunderstanding. I don't argue. Just smile. Because I understand something now that I didn't back then. When someone shows you that their life is better without you, believe them, and then build a life so full, so steady, so strong, that no one ever gets to decide your worth again. When my mom said the vacation was without me, she didn't raise her voice. She didn't look angry. She said it like it was nothing. Like she was telling me the milk had expired. I already booked everything, she said, scrolling on her phone. It's better if you stay home. Short pause. I was 16, old enough to understand rejection. Young enough to still hope it wasn't real. Why? I asked quietly. She sighed. The kind of sigh adults use when they think a child is being difficult. You're too sensitive, she said. And honestly, I just need a break. Pause. A break. From me. The vacation had been planned for months. Beach photos saved in her gallery. New clothes hanging neatly in her closet. She used to talk about it at dinner. The ocean, the sunsets, the peace. I always thought I was part of that picture. I wasn't. She left 3 days later. No hug. No real goodbye. Just a yellow sticky note on the fridge. Food is in the freezer. Don't stay up late. That was it. Soft pause. The house felt different the moment the door closed. Too quiet. Too empty. That first night, I didn't sleep in my room. I slept on the couch. My own bed suddenly felt like it belonged to someone else. On the second night, a storm hit. Thunder shook the windows. Rain poured like the sky was breaking apart. Then the power went out. I sat in the dark, my phone flashlight shaking in my hand. My heart raced. I texted her. The electricity is gone. I'm scared. Long pause. The message showed delivered. Hours passed. No reply. That night I learned something without realizing it. Silence hurts more when you're expecting someone to care. Over the next days I stopped texting. I learned how to survive instead. Burnt pasta became dinner. YouTube taught me how to reset the breaker. I washed my own clothes. I locked the doors twice every night. I wasn't living. I was managing. On day 6, I got sick. A fever, cold sweats, a headache so strong that light felt painful. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering if something happened to me, would anyone even notice? I didn't call her, because deep down I already knew she wouldn't come back. Pause. 2 weeks later she returned. Sun-kissed skin, a suitcase full of souvenirs. A smile that looked rested and happy. You survived, she said lightly. See? I told you. You'd be fine. I nodded. Because what do you say when your pain doesn't matter? Life went on like nothing happened. She posted vacation photos online. Beach selfies. Drinks by the pool, captions about peace and self-care. People commented, you deserve this. So happy for you. No one asked where I was. Years passed. I grew up fast, faster than I should have. I got a job. Then another. I paid for my own things, stopped asking for help. When I moved out at 18, she hugged me proudly. You're so independent, she said. Slow, bitter pause. Independence isn't always a gift. Sometimes it's what grows when no one shows up for you. Our conversations became short. Birthdays felt forced. Holidays felt distant. She never mentioned that vacation again. I thought she forgot. She didn't. When I was 26, she called me crying. I need you, she said. I trusted the wrong people. They left. I have no one. I listened. Then she asked the question that changed everything. I was a good mother, right? Long pause. Memories flooded back. The dark house, the storm, the fever, the unread messages. I did my best too, I said quietly. Silence. Then she started apologizing, not loudly, not dramatically, just broken. I thought you were strong, she whispered. I was. But strength should never be forced on a child. I helped her, but carefully, with boundaries, with distance. Love doesn't mean forgetting. It means protecting yourself. Sometimes she still laughs nervously about that vacation, calls it a misunderstanding. I don't argue, because now I understand something I didn't back then. When someone shows you that their life is better without you, believe them, and then build a life so full, so steady, so strong, that no one ever gets to decide your worth again. After that phone call, things were never the same. We didn't suddenly become close. We didn't heal overnight. Some wounds don't close just because someone finally admits they exist. My mom moved into a small apartment across town. I helped her find it. I helped her set things up. I even paid the first month's rent. But I didn't give her my life. That was something I had learned the hard way. She started calling more often after that. Sometimes just to talk. Sometimes to complain. Sometimes to remind me subtly that she was alone now. I guess this is what abandonment feels like, she said once, half joking. I didn't laugh, because I remembered being 16, sitting in the dark during a storm, wondering if I mattered enough for a reply. I never said that out loud. I didn't need to. Time passed again. But this time, I wasn't the child waiting anymore. I built a life that didn't revolve around being chosen. I made friends who checked on me. I found work that respected me. I learned how peace feels when it isn't temporary. One evening, my mom came over for dinner. She sat at my table, looking around my apartment slowly. The clean counters, the quiet confidence of someone who knows they belong where they are. "You've done well," she said. Then, after a pause, "You didn't need me, did you?" The question wasn't angry. It was afraid. I set my fork down. "I needed you," I said gently. "I just learned how to live without you." Her eyes filled with tears. That was the first time I saw it, clearly not as a child, not as a hurt teenager, but as an adult. She wasn't evil. She wasn't cruel. She was selfish and scared and human. But understanding someone doesn't erase what they did. "I thought giving you space would make you stronger," she whispered. I nodded slowly. "It did," I said, "but it also taught me something else." She looked up. "That love shouldn't feel optional." Silence filled the room, not uncomfortable, just honest. She didn't argue. She couldn't. Later that night, after she left, I stood by the window and watched the city lights blink in the distance. I realized something important. That vacation didn't just leave me behind. It freed me. It showed me early what some people learn too late, that you can't beg someone to value you, and you can't shrink yourself to earn a place in someone else's life. Sometimes, being left out is the moment you start finding yourself. My mom still sends me messages, still tries in her own way, and I let her within limits. Because love without boundaries becomes another form of abandonment. People ask me now how I became so independent, so calm, so sure of myself. I don't tell them about the vacation. I just smile and say, "I learned early what happens when you stop waiting to be chosen." And that's the truth. Some endings don't come with forgiveness. They come with understanding. Months after that dinner, my mom and I fell into a quiet rhythm. Short calls, occasional visits, no pretending, no rewriting the past. She tried to be present now, but presence doesn't travel backward. One afternoon, she asked me something I had been waiting years to hear. "If I could go back," she said softly, "I wouldn't leave you alone like that." I believed her, and somehow, that made it hurt less and more at the same time. Because regret doesn't erase consequences. I told her something I had never said out loud before. "That vacation," I said, "taught me not to expect rescue." She closed her eyes. "I didn't know you felt abandoned." I nodded. I was. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. Then she asked the question that mattered most. "Can you forgive me?" I took a deep breath. Forgiveness isn't a switch. It's a process. "I'm not angry anymore," I said carefully, "but forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. And love doesn't mean pretending it didn't shape me." She cried quietly, not because I was cruel, but because I was honest. Over time, I realized something important. I didn't need her apology to heal. Healing had already begun the day I stopped blaming myself for her absence. I wasn't too sensitive. I wasn't difficult. I wasn't the problem. I was just a child who needed to feel chosen. That night, after she left, I found the old sticky note in a drawer. The one she had left on the fridge years ago. "Food is in the freezer. Don't stay up late." I stared at it for a long time, then the first threw it away. Not out of anger, out of closure. Today, when people talk about family vacations, I don't feel jealous anymore. I don't feel bitter. I feel grounded. because I learned something that changed my life forever. Being left behind doesn't mean you were unworthy. Sometimes it means the other person wasn't ready to be responsible for your heart. My mom and I are not perfect now, but we are real. And I no longer chase closeness that costs me my peace. If you're listening to this, and you've ever been left behind emotionally or physically by someone who was supposed to protect you, hear this. You didn't imagine the pain. You didn't deserve it, and you don't have to stay broken because of it. Some people grow strong because they're supported. Others grow strong because they had no choice. Both are valid. But only one teaches you how powerful you already are. Soft pause. And sometimes, the moment someone leaves you behind is the moment you finally start walking forward. Some people think healing means forgetting. It doesn't. Healing means remembering without breaking. My mom and I never became the picture-perfect family people imagine, but we became honest. And honesty was something I didn't have as a child. That vacation didn't just leave me alone in a house. It left me alone with myself. And in that silence, I learned who I was without approval, without comfort, without rescue. I learned that love should never feel optional. That being strong should never be a child's responsibility. Today, I don't wait to be chosen anymore. I choose myself. I forgive, but I don't erase. I care, but I protect my peace. If you were ever left behind by someone who was supposed to stay, remember this. Their leaving was not your failure. It was their limit. And sometimes, the moment you're abandoned is the moment you finally begin to belong to yourself.